The craziest food, there's two. I had horse. My companion actually made me eat it. It was in a sushi bar. He's like, when else are you going to get the opportunity to eat it? It was raw. It was not awful. It was kind of weird. Its texture is really similar to beef, not bad. I also had whale, and that was in the area where they hunt whales and dolphins. And the whales actually taste. I mean, it was really good. I've had it both cooked and raw, and both were really, really good. There was this one time where we ran into this woman that was like we were looking for this certain house because we were looking for this less active, and this woman came and she just out of nowhere wanted to help us find it, and then helped us find it, just by the address we found it. The less active just honestly didn't want to hear from us at all, and so we just like, well, let's go find where that. We kind of like had an idea of where she lived because of where she had come from, so we just started knocking on doors around that area where we thought she came from. We never found her again, but we did find actually the first house we knocked on in that area. We found this other woman that was her brother. Or no, her husband had just passed away, and her brother was in really serious condition in the hospital. She thought that somebody was coming to her house to tell her that her brother had passed away, and she eventually was baptized. So, and I just remember feeling when like let's go find. I remember feeling like so strongly the Spirit telling me let's go find that woman that helped us find directions, and I thought we needed to find her and try to teach her, but it was actually, I think, for that other woman that we found in that area where she lived.
Cool.
In Japanese, there's, I don't know how to explain. There's passives. So you conjugate a verb to make it sound like a verb, like I was attacked. You conjugate a verb the same way you do to make it honorific. So if you were to say like I was eaten, the verb itself is the same as that person honorifically ate. And it's very important in Japanese to use honorifics for certain people. So if you don't use the right particle, it changes the meaning of the sentence completely. And I can't remember who said this, but somebody said it. They were saying that Jesus Christ was killed by bad people, and that would be Ies Kiristo wa 悪い人に殺された. But if you say イエス・キリストは悪い人を殺された, it sounds like he honorifically killed bad people instead of he was killed by bad people. And so so just that one little particle right before it can completely change the meaning, and a lot of times it's really funny. Like it's instead of like, oh, please honorifically eat, it's like, please honorifically get eaten. So yeah, that was a lot. That happened a lot. I learned how to cook a lot on my mission. I probably about after like my second companion, I just like, and I think most of my companions were okay with it, but I just like kind of took charge with grocery shopping and took charge with cooking, and I loved it. And we were only supposed to take an hour for lunch, but I learned like, a good dozen or so dishes that I could make really fast and eat that were really good. And it's actually really sad because I can't find the stuff to make them as easily here, so I don't make them very often anymore. But I felt like I actually got really good at cooking, and I really learned to enjoy it. The most extreme weather, there actually are a couple areas in the Kobe mission that snow a lot. I wasn't in those. The most extreme thing, and this happens anywhere in Japan, is the monsoon season. It's about 2 weeks, usually mid to late June, maybe early July, where it rains every single day and it's extremely humid and it is so miserable. It's really hard to know what to do because you're on a bike, you're out every day. You have most missionaries will have a rain suit that works if it's raining lightly, but if it's during the monsoon season, it's just heavy, heavy rain. Everything's soaking wet. It goes through the rain suit, and even under your rain suit, it's so humid that you're sweating. I ruined like lots of copies of the Book of Mormon during that season, and it's just really hard to get anything done because it's like those 2 weeks, it just doesn't stop. It's constant rain. It does rain a lot in Japan, but it's that monsoon season that is the most severe. The hardest experience was companions. They're also, I think, the biggest blessing. Any missionary, pretty much anywhere in the world, I think would tell you that they had a hard companion. I think that's just part of living with another human being 24/7. I had two or three that were more difficult than the others. I had one in particular that was quite a struggle for personal reasons, some things beyond his control that made it so we just didn't really have much time to work. That was frustrating, and a lot of times it almost felt like I was doing something wrong because we had to, do extra things, go meet with the president when I felt like my time just wasn't being used efficiently. So that was difficult in that I felt like it took away a lot of my control over my time. But looking back now, I can see why it was important for me to go through that and learn patience and how to facilitate his needs. At the time, it was really frustrating, but in the end, I think it was a blessing for me. I think the best advice for a return missionary just coming home is to get involved in something. I could have come home a transfer early, like the day after school started, and so I figured that wasn't worth it because I would have just been so overwhelmed trying to catch up on everything and as far as school is concerned. So I came home a little after I'd been out a little bit more than 2 years, but then I had a good 4 months before I went back to school, and I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't have a car for a long time, so it was just really hard to get anything done. I would clean the house, I'd cook, I'd try to help people in my home ward, and it made me kind of stir crazy. So I think take things at your own pace, but do get involved, whether it's school or volunteering or a job that you like. Just get involved in something, keep a routine going, and keep the habits you learn in your mission, the study habits, and going to bed on time, using your time efficiently. Obviously, you don't have to be, you do get to relax a little bit. I think that's important as well. But there are good habits that you can keep, especially study habits, I think, from your mission and studying the scriptures.